Institutions are on a buying spree for these two altcoins, and Bitwise says there's about to be massive demand for this one altcoin in the coming weeks, so be ready. This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so we drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, altcoinbuzz.io, and as always, is not financial advice, and wish the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Also, make sure to join us for our X Spaces Tuesday to Friday at 9 a.m. EST, link down below. All right, good morning, guys. Happy Friday. Bitcoin continues to consolidate here, but even as it's consolidating, it's making alts sell off like crazy. Yesterday, we went down to around $119,000. We wicked down here, and now we're closing back above here. But meanwhile, alts still continue to bleed, and I think that's going to continue to happen today and over the weekend as Bitcoin continues to chop. I don't think it's going to be just immediately reverse from here. I think it's going to continue to chop over the coming weekend, and I think what's going to happen is alts will continue to bleed, unfortunately. And it's a good place to pick it up because I think once Bitcoin rips, Bitcoin dominance starts to pick up again, and we finally make a new high towards, maybe 130, maybe 135, wherever this wants to go. Once we finally do break that and we start to go up and we can have Bitcoin dominance rise, then we can finally get our alt season and alts will finally continue to go up. But unfortunately, I think they're going to continue to bleed against Bitcoin right now as Bitcoin dominance is ticking up around 59.26%. So you can see here, we've been rising up here on Bitcoin dominance. I wouldn't be surprised if we go up towards 60, 61% in the near future as Bitcoin wants to break above these levels to new all-time highs. So unfortunately, that's the case for Bitcoin and our alts right now. We'll get into what altcoins institutions are bidding and what ones you want to be paying attention to. But first off, we have Fed Jerome Powell's remarks at the Community Bank Conference yesterday were pre-recorded. No new policy hints, but markets are watching the October 28th and 29th FOMC meeting with rate cut expectations still around 95% for October. Bitcoin and ETH holding steady as traders weigh Fed signals. So essentially, there's another 95% chance that there is going to be a 25 basis point rate cut, which is bullish for the markets. And I think Bitcoin, having gone up this huge run up, needs time to cool off. But I think the trajectory is still upwards over time. So this is still very bullish for us. We also have a Bitcoin adoption has reached 4.7% globally, matching the internet's adoption level in 1999. So you can see here Bitcoin's adoption S-curve, and we're currently at 4.7% of the entire world's population kind of adopting it globally. Then we have a billionaire Jack Dorsey says that Bitcoin has a 16-year track record of just going up. So he said this.
I think a lot of companies are doing it. You can consider Bitcoin to be an alternative savings account. You can consider it to be like gold, where it's shown a track record over 16 years of just going up. It has its ups and downs, and people say it's volatile, but if you look at the long range, if you go to your stocks app and you look at all, you see every 4 years it does the same thing, and it just consistently goes up fairly predictably because it's math. And I think companies have understood that, and they're like, this is a hedge against the dollar. I know the dollars I keep in the bank are losing value. So instead of having that, why don't I have Bitcoin that's gaining in value?
If you've ever wanted an all-in-one platform for crypto or even stocks, you've got to check out BitGet. Honestly, this exchange is changing the game. BitGet isn't just any exchange. It's got spot trading, futures, margin, and even copy trading. Plus, it supports a ton of coins and trading pairs, all with competitive fees. Security is taken seriously as well, with proof of reserves and a protection fund, so you can trade with peace of mind. And no other tier 1 exchange protects your security this well. And one of the coolest things, BitGet is moving towards being a universal platform. That means you can trade tokenized US stocks like Apple and Nvidia right on the blockchain, all by using USDC without needing a traditional broker or leaving the exchange for another platform. And if you're into futures, BitGet Stock Futures lets you speculate on price movements with up to 10x leverage using a composite index of stock tokens. It's super beginner friendly and a perfect way to explore the market. Now, getting started is easy. Sign up, do your ID verification, deposit USDT or USDC, and you're ready to trade. And by signing up for BitGet, you have the chance to earn bonuses up to $6,200. So try BitGet today and get your bonuses. Here's how. This is our link for global users. For our UK users, sign up with this link. And if you're on mainland and Europe, use this link to sign up. And then moving on, we have Matthew Hogan, CIO of Bitwise, who says TradFi is extremely bullish, not only on Bitcoin, but Solana and ETH. So he said this.
Based on the conversations I'm having with financial advisors and institutions, they've now realized that there are two major trades in crypto. There's Bitcoin as digital gold, and there's Ethereum and Solana as platform for stablecoin and tokenization. I'll say with my TradFi audience, that stablecoin and tokenization story is almost stronger than the Bitcoin story alone.
Now for Solana, we have Sharps Technology has partnered with Coinbase to expand its digital asset treasury, now holding over 2 million SOL, valued at over $400 million. We also have, in a few hours, the Solana ETF will be approved, potentially. We still have government shutdown, so it might not be today, but today is the day. But treasury companies already accumulated $4.15 billion worth of Solana. Last week, Vision Systems AI partnered with Marinade Finance to launch a $2 billion digital treasury. That could be the biggest treasury company on Solana, with $500 million staked in 6 months. Billions of buying pressure is coming. And we have Cointelegraph sharing that Solana's TVL across applications has hit an all-time high of $42.4 billion. So you can see here all the money locked across Solana's applications between Circle, Camino, Jupiter, Jito, Sanctum, and all these other staked services, heavily rising on Solana as institutions are starting to bid. We also have Solana saying the fastest growing company in Y Combinator history is not an AI company, but it's a Solana company, and that is Axiom Exchange. So the Solana-based trading platform Axiom has surpassed $300 million in cumulative revenue in just 263 days since launch, becoming the fastest in crypto to reach the milestone. And then Max says in 2024, NMS stock transactions surpassed 80 million a day. 50 million of those were on exchanges, and Solana is the only blockchain ready to handle that scale of the US equity markets today. The idea that some blockchains will capture settlement while others capture trading of securities makes no sense. The entire reason regulators are interested in securities coming on-chain is because the current balkanized system of dozens of intermediaries to clear security trades is extremely brittle. It makes a lot more sense to have one venue handle issuance, trading, and settlement of securities than to repeat the sins of our ancestors by splitting up these functions again. In the near future, the majority of the $500 trillion global securities market will consist of assets issued on Solana, traded on Solana, and sold in real time on Solana. Thanks for your attention on this matter. So Max believes that instead of Ethereum, all the securities will be traded on Solana specifically to make it a lot more easy and a lot less brittle like the old system. Now, as for Solana, we're pretty much in the same spot we were yesterday. I like that it's holding this area around 216. If Bitcoin dips below, I think this is probably going to, it's going to fold. It's going to go down lower. But as of right now, if Bitcoin wants to hold up this area and then continue higher or at least consolidate, I do like how Solana is consolidating around this 220-ish area, holding this level as a level of support after a level reclaim. And so I do think we do go towards these highs towards 260 if the ETF gets approved. But one move of Bitcoin going down towards maybe $118,000 today could lead alts to bleed off much more. So I am cautious of this, especially going into the weekend. But if we do have an ETF approval today, this could send this going much higher, much faster towards 260 and then towards $300 very quickly. And so I think we're going to see a lot of ETF inflows for Solana once it does happen. So I don't doubt that we're going to see 300 at some point soon, probably this year. But I am cautious also of Bitcoin consolidating and also bleeding out against it at the same time. And then moving on, we have Bitmine keeps accumulating ETH. 5 hours ago, they received another 23,823 ETH worth $103 million from BitGo. We also have Alibaba's founders company backs another Ethereum-based project. Korean whales account for 91% of the market. So you can see here, we have Bitmine, we have SharpLink, we have the Ether Machine, BitDigital, and all these ETH treasury companies here. And they're all holding, millions and millions and some billions of dollars of Ethereum, and a lot of it is held by South Korean whales. We also have Ethereum's Fusaka upgrade is coming soon. The Fusaka update, combining Fulu for the consensus layer and Osaka for the execution layer, aims to cut node costs and boost adoption by making ETH more efficient and accessible. Now, ETH overall, it just kind of looks meh. It doesn't look the best. It doesn't look the worst. But I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of came down here, maybe back down towards around $4,000. Consolidate a little bit more, and then continue back to the top of the range. We're kind of in this mid-range right now, so it's kind of hard to predict where it's going to go right now. It's so dependent on Bitcoin, but I wouldn't be surprised, again, if we came back and touched the bottom of this range around $4,080 and came back down here. It could stop here in the mid-range, but I'd be surprised if we didn't try and retest this, or maybe even take out some of these stops before continuing higher. So that's Ethereum right now. I think it's highly dependent on Bitcoin. And what Bitcoin wants to do today and over the weekend. And then moving on, we have Walrus, which is now live on Binance Alpha. We also have Walrus saying wall is burning, and it's a good thing. Soon, every time someone pays to use Walrus, some wall will be burned, causing deflationary pressure. Plus, Walrus's storage pricing will be available in USD, creating greater price stability for the long term. It's designed to work for everyone as the network scales and grows. And as for Walrus, it's hard to think of a faster growing ecosystem right now than Sui, and one of its top projects is Walrus. Walrus is the home for decentralized data storage on Sui, and Misten Labs, the same team behind Sui, has been busy with tons of updates and new services for Walrus. For example, programmable privacy, With a full launch of Seal working together with Walrus, you can now store, access, encrypt, and retain access control over sets of data. This can be AI models or medical or financial records, or any sensitive data that a company may need, but you wouldn't want to see out in the public. Walrus is also getting lots of new clients and partners now as well. Zark Lab is helping content creators with its AI intelligence tools, and staying in content, Everlyn AI is partnering with Walrus as well. Everlyn is a video platform that transforms images into video, and we're going to be seeing a lot more of this on Walrus since AI models like DeepSeek, as well as rappers and AI apps like Everlyn, can store and manage their entire model on Walrus. So Walrus is making all the right moves to become a decentralized data leader, not just on Sui, but for the entire industry. Its capacity to store, manage, keep private, and access large amounts of data, making it ideal for decentralized AI, machine learning, and other industries reliant on the manipulation and access to data. And then moving on, we have Ethena Labs to introduce JupUSD, the native stablecoin of the Jupiter Exchange ecosystem, but with Ethena's stablecoin as a service stack. JupUSD will plug into every major part of the Jupiter stack, including Jupiter Perps, where $750 million in stablecoins inside of the JLP will gradually be replaced by JupUSD, and Jupiter Lend as the cornerstone lending asset. We also have Andy saying Ethena and Jupiter are launching the JupUSD, the new Solana native stablecoin. JupUSD will be issued natively on Solana, enabling seamless integration across DeFi protocols with lower friction and costs. Specific design details haven't been fully disclosed yet, but JupUSD is expected to follow Ethena's model of yield-generating, collateral-backed stablecoins. Ethena will now spearhead Solana's stablecoin ecosystem with Jupiter and work to maintain peg stability, build deep liquidity for JupUSD, and gain ecosystem adoption against USDC and USDT. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Welcome to the stablecoin supercycle, which it really seems to be. We also have Anthony who says, total stablecoin supply surpassed $300 billion yesterday, Tether $178 billion, Circle at $76 billion, and Ethena Labs at $14.3 billion. At the same time, recently, YZI Labs, which is formerly Binance Labs, which is essentially CZ's project, has deepened its holding in Ethena Labs, backing the future of digital dollars. So it is a stablecoin cycle, and CZ and Binance are also backing Ethena Labs as well. And then last for today, we have Wolf locks over half of its total supply for 2 years just to reinforce trust. So DeFi Hub Wolf, operating under Beergris, has announced that more than 57% of its total Wolf token supply will be locked for 2 years, following recent incidents involving its Ethereum bridge and an early token holder. The measure, covering over 570 million tokens, valued around $13.2 million, aims to restore community confidence and demonstrate long-term commitment from major holders. The 2-year lock will see tokens gradually vest over the holding period, with an option to relock thereafter. The measure follows 2 incidents in late September that temporarily affected Wolf's token stability. In the first, a contractor retained administrator access to the project's Ethereum bridge and minted unbacked ETH-Wolf tokens, draining over $600,000 in ETH-side liquidity. The second involved an earlier whale selling around 2% of the supply after declining to join a community lock framework. Wolf said both events were contained with the bridge and token infrastructure since reinforced to prevent similar occurrences. The lock is intended to reduce selling pressure, provide visibility into token ownership, and set a new standard for transparency for the platform's DeFi community. So that is Wolf and their new 2-year token lock. That's the video for today, guys. It is Friday. I think, Bitcoin is going to continue to chop sideways. Maybe we get a little bit of a pump Sunday afternoon, but I do think we'll continue to chop sideways. I don't think we're going to just V-reverse back out of here. I think we're going to kind of bleed out on alts, unfortunately, and Bitcoin will go sideways, create a level of support, which we ideally want, and then we can continue higher, blast hopefully towards $130,000, get out of this range we've been in for multiple months, and finally start to break higher and see new all-time highs. So that is the video for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on Monday.